In a normal database, a schema change is a chore you know how to do. Add a column, backfill it, ship it. Here, that tool does not exist. Your money deposited event needs a currency field because the business has expanded and 500 no longer tells you 500 of what. In a normal system, you would add the column and default the old rows to rand. Here, the old events are immutable, and you meant that. You cannot rewrite them, because rewriting history is the one thing this entire architecture exists to prevent. So the 40 million events without a currency field are staying exactly as they are, forever, and your new code has to live with them. This is the part of event sourcing that nobody puts on a slide. So if you cannot change the events, you change how you read them. An upcaster sits between the store and your code. It takes an old event on its way out and turns it into the shape today's code expects. Version 1 had no currency, so the upcaster adds rand, because you know for a fact that every event written before that date was in rand. And that knowledge lives in one function with a comment explaining why. Your domain code only ever sees the current shape and never knows the past was different. And notice what has happened. The messy historical truth has been quarantined in one place, on the boundary, exactly like the anti-corruption layer in the last series. Same idea, different access. That one was across systems. This one is across time, which leads to the discipline that keeps this survivable, and it is a rule rather than a preference. Change events additively. You may add a field because old events simply lack it, and an upcaster can supply it. You may add a whole new event type because old readers ignore what they do not recognize. What you may not do is rename a field, remove one, or change what an existing one means, because there is no version of that which does not require lying about the past or breaking a reader. The subtle killer is the third one. Renaming is caught by the compiler. Quietly redefining amount from cents to rand is caught by nobody, and every event ever written becomes wrong by a factor of 100, silently, and the log still looks perfect. And this is why the advice to keep events small stops sounding like minimalism and starts sounding like self-defense. Every field you put in an event is a field you are promising to support for the life of the company. So put in what happened and nothing else. The amount, the account, the currency. Not the customer's current address, which was context rather than fact and will be wrong within a year. Not a denormalized copy of the product catalog as it looked that day. Not the whole request object because it was convenient. Each of those is a decision you are freezing into a permanent record, and the frozen version of a convenient shortcut is an upcaster your successor maintains and does not understand. There is a second approach worth knowing. Instead of upcasting V1 into V2, you keep both types and teach your fold to handle each. That is honest, because the two really are different events written by different systems in different eras, and there is no pretense. The cost is that every projection now has a branch for every version, forever, and after 3 changes, your fold is mostly archaeology. Upcasting concentrates that mess in one place and lets the rest of the code stay clean, at the price of a translation layer that is quietly lying, in a well-documented way, about what was on disk. I would take the upcasters, and I would keep them in one file, and I would put the date and the reason in a comment on every single one. Because in 3 years, that comment is the only person who remembers. So the past is unchangeable, and we have made our peace with it. Which sets up the single best thing this architecture can do, the thing that makes the whole tax worth paying. A bug has been miscalculating interest for 6 months. In a normal system, you are reconstructing what should have happened from what is left. Here you rewind. Next episode, replay, audit, and fixing the past. See you there.